Return to a time when daily life revolved around printed newspapers, rotary phones, and heartfelt conversations in person. The 1970s and 1980s marked a transformative chapter in American culture as music, fashion, and technology advanced in ways few could have predicted.
Two Mongolian women are depicted wearing richly adorned traditional attire, reflecting the identity and resilience of their nomadic people. Captured around 1900, the image highlights the culture and way of life on the vast steppes of Mongolia. A historical record from 1930 shows an Italian tourist dedicated to hunting, posing alongside two African pygmy guides he hired. Together they display a captured gorilla in the Belgian Congo, a territory under the administration of the Kingdom of Belgium at the time. A postcard dated around 1900 features a woman from Algeria, North Africa, wearing a striking and richly adorned outfit, reflecting the fashion and culture of the time. A pioneer family poses in front of their ranch in Clear Creek, Kansas, United States, in 1867, accompanied by a domesticated deer. A young man enjoys a rare moment of tranquility, savoring a cup of tea on the rooftop of a slum in London, around 1900. A man of the Lapp people, now known as the Sami, works with reindeer hides in the icy region of Lapland around 1930. Traditionally nomadic, the Sami have a deep connection to reindeer herding, an essential pillar of their culture and survival in the far north of Europe. Two wild moose are used as a means of transportation in a cart in Sweden, an unusual but historically documented practice. In the 15th century, the Swedish army even trained them as riding animals. A Norwegian farming family poses for a portrait in 1910, intended for a family photo album. The father, mother, and their 4 children display striking and surprisingly similar features. American soldiers interrogate 2 North Korean nurses captured as prisoners of war in Seoul on September 28, 1950. The scene took place shortly after the city was recaptured by UN forces during the Korean War, amid the intense offensive against communist troops. A photograph from around 1890 captures a woman on West Weir Street in Sunderland, England, holding a cat while washing her front door. One of the first settlers of Las Vegas in his modest settlement in the arid Nevada desert in 1895. Long before the bright lights and bustling energy that would make it world famous, Las Vegas was just a small, isolated outpost, frequented by pioneers and travelers seeking opportunities in the American West. People celebrate at a lively dance party in the United Kingdom in 1865, carried away by the melodies of a harp and a violin. In a ballroom illuminated by shimmering chandeliers, couples glide across the wooden floor, while laughter and the sound of music create a charming atmosphere of the Victorian era. The French aviator Pelletier d'Oisy, a World War I veteran, is seen seated at the center during a hunting expedition in Indochina in 1930. A couple from Ohio proudly poses next to their 1908 Cadillac Model S in the United States, a symbol of status and innovation at the time. A group of Japanese armor divers rests around the fire after a day's work in Mie Prefecture, Western Japan in 1955. Experts in harvesting abalone, shellfish, and lobsters, these women kept alive a centuries-old tradition of freediving, passed down from generation to generation. In the remote Buddhist kingdom of Bhutan, a group of nuns is photographed at Tatsang Monastery, one of the country's most iconic temples, perched high in the Himalayan mountains in the early 1900s. The Jomon, a people of African ancestry, are recognized as some of the earliest inhabitants of the region. In the early 1900s, a woman uses an outdoor crank public telephone mounted on a telephone pole somewhere in the United States. The iconic American model Betty Page, who rose to fame in the 1950s with her pin-up-themed photos, poses at the Funland amusement park in Miami, Florida, in 1954. A woman in the United States poses wearing a cone-shaped pointed bra, popularly known as the bullet bra. This model, created in the late 1940s, gained great popularity in the 1950s, becoming an iconic piece of women's fashion of the era. A group of snake charmers performs in India in 1890, mesmerizing spectators with their hypnotic melodies as snakes emerge from intricately woven baskets. German soldiers take shelter in a trench in 1917, waiting for the enemy artillery bombardment to end. 15 somber faces reflect the uncertainty of the moment, each man lost in his own thoughts as they wait for the barrage to cease, ready to withstand the next attack in the trench warfare of World War I. A July 4th, 1889, portrait captures a man in a wheelchair holding United States flags in front of the Westin Hotel in California amidst the Independence Day celebrations. A young Kven girl fetches water in Finnmark, Norway, in the year 1898. The Kvens, an ethnic and linguistic minority of Finnish origin, have lived in northern Norway since at least the 16th century. Two women from the delivery service on the bustling Pall Mall Street in London, 1927. A man showcases an unusual crescent moon-style haircut and beard, an eccentric look from 1895. This photo shows Johan Kristin Peterson, the tallest man in Icelandic history, standing at 2.34 meters, 7 feet 8 inches tall. The photo was taken in 1950 during the period of his performances in circuses and shows around the world. In 1906, Henry M. Leland, founder of Cadillac, proudly posed next to the Cadillac Model M Touring, an icon of his company and a milestone in the evolution of the automotive industry. A photographic portrait of a young Hawaiian hula dancer in 1896, capturing the cultural authenticity of the time. Wearing a leaf top but with her breasts bare, her image reflects the ancestral traditions of Hawaii before Western influence transformed its customs. Naxi swimmers use inflatable floats made of goatskin alongside a traditional raft of the same material, used as a ferry to cross the mighty Yangtze River, captured in 1928 in the city of Lijiang, southwest China. A condemned prisoner in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, in 1913, is depicted with a large chain hanging around his neck, a symbol of his punishment. Parisian scenes around 1910. Men known as sandwich men walk through the streets of the French capital carrying large advertising signs. A team of husky dogs pulls an explorer from the Australasian Antarctic Expedition, 1911 to 1914, braving the extreme challenges of the frozen continent. In the early 20th century, it was an era of boldness and sacrifice, when adventurers risked everything to map uncharted lands and push the boundaries of human knowledge. A stylish young woman showcases Edwardian fashion as she strolls through the streets of London, England in 1906. This rare photograph features Simon Peris, the only black soldier in the history of the Hungarian army. According to accounts from the time, Peris, also known as Ali Mahmoud, was born in either the Congo or Senegal and arrived in Hungary as a child, initially as a servant to a Turkish resident in Budapest. His unique journey led him to hold a singular place in the country's military history. People gather for a beauty contest at the Tidal Basin in Washington, United States in 1919. Two fishermen set out on their journey in a small boat, sailing through the calm waters of Victorian England in 1857. The scene captures the essence of the era's rustic rural life. Studio portrait of a Jewish woman in Port Said, Egypt, in 1890, wearing traditional attire adorned with intricate jewelry. Local prisoners in Indochina, around 1900, are depicted wearing wooden yokes as a form of punishment. A wounded Senegalese colonial soldier from World War I adapts to the use of anatomical prosthetics while relearning to write under the watchful eye of a Red Cross nurse in 1918.